Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Angie.
And together, we are
TwinFinity.
TwinFinity.
We're twin flames in union, sharing our journey through a series of videos. This is now video number 35, called, are you ready for this? Get braced. The Booms, Sex, Lies, and GPS. We're not even ready for this, so I hope you guys are.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
this one's a tough one.
Yeah.
Anyway, where we are today, we're at a place called Burstal Pass. It's about 7 kilometers of hiking in. It took us about 3.5 hours to get here and get ourselves all set up. In behind us, we've got, let me see if I can do this. Where am I going? Left, right? Yep, there we are. There's Chester Peak. There is Fortress Peak. There is Gusty Peak. And this last one I'm going to get in trouble for. I'm going to call it Galatea. That's how it's phonetically spelled. Some people have tried to call it Galatia, named after a sea nymph from ancient mythology. If someone wants to correct me as to which way is the correct pronunciation, please go ahead. Local versus the way it's supposed to be, oh well, sometimes happens. So anyway, I've climbed four of those peaks just as scrambles. Gusty, I almost made it to the top, but I ended up on the wrong ridge leading to the top, and it blocked me. So yeah, I had to turn around, and sometime I'll redo that. But all of them are beautiful mountains to climb, and we were supposed to be over across the valley there. I forget what video it was. We were beside a place.
24.
24.
Yeah.
Okay. The Elephant Rocks.
Yeah.
The Elephant Rocks are buried over there close to the base of Gusty Peak. So that's where we were going to go today. The trail is closed because of bear activity. So we went the other direction. We came this way. Our vehicle is way back at the bottom of the valley back there. So anyway, we've had a good time getting here, and now it's time to continue on. Angie has a comment about last week's video.
Yes, I just wanted to say, so actually it wasn't last week, it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, we missed a week.
Yes.
We had a very busy week.
We missed you guys, actually. It's kind of like weird for us to not do a weekly video. We were at a wedding, as we had mentioned, last weekend, but we ended up doing our question and answer video last week, but we had volume issues, so we were going to redo it, but I think I fixed the volume issues, so we might just still post it. Unfortunately, it's kind of long. It's almost 2 hours long. So we'll see. We'll see if you guys are like up for it. Give us your comments if you want it, or if you want us to redo it, we'll go from there. But anyway, on our note from 2 weeks ago, our video that we did, that was number 34, it was really neat how it turned out. And this, I just wanted to share this because this is so much about how life works on this journey. I was feeling incredibly discouraged about even being able to do our video that time because if you remember, we were climbing Heart Mountain and it was a really crappy, rainy, yucky day. It was
cloudy.
Windy, cloudy, windy, rainy, cold. It just wasn't great. And I just didn't see how if the weather was going to turn around to do a video. But I was so sad because it's Heart Mountain. Who doesn't do a video on Heart Mountain? Okay, most people don't, but we do.
We do, for sure.
And so I finally had to surrender, and you had to surrender because you were sad too that it wasn't going to work. And then it just all of a sudden the sun came out, the clouds went away, and it was like perfect. I mean, it was windy, but we made it work. And it was even more perfect than I expected because when we were doing the video, we couldn't see all the cool sun streams that actually showed up in the video.
Yeah, when we were just starting the video, that's just when the skies were actually breaking to be starting to be sunny. So all that happened is our screen whitewashed a bit, and we just had to have a little faith that we were actually still there.
Yeah.
We didn't realize that we were there with the sun rays in behind us. It's kind of cool when we got home and looked at it.
It was amazing. And so what was so neat is, number one, we got to do a video, even though we had finally surrendered and accepted we weren't going to. And then we got to have all this cool sun, which, if you remember the last part of the video, I was talking about when I saw our combined soul and the colors of it. That's exactly what it looked like, was all the sun rays. It just didn't look like rays. It looked more like floating, but the colors were all there. So it was just really neat how the universe works and everything works out the way it's supposed to. Very cool.
Patience.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got to say it once now. I'm all good. The rest of the video.
All right, so now we'll head into our long recap.
It's still only a one-page recap. Most of the time they're 3/4 of a page. So last video, we were feeling more bound together on a soul level. We were both ready for peaceful endings of our karmic relationships as we yearned to start our life together. Angie's karmic had initiated a mutual split right at the end of 2014. Angie was shocked and amazed at this, as she has been doing a lot of work then with her karmic in 5D to create a peaceful separation. Peaceful separation wasn't likely, not with the relationship that they had.
No, but yet it was turning out half decent.
I was ready and wanting to move forward with Angie, but was still trying to wait for more direction and guidance from Creator on when and how to end things with my karmic, especially since things were ending naturally with Angie and her karmic. Angie had to face some fear of moving forward with so much change happening, but since she'd grown so much during our many years apart, she was not only able to work through the fear, but share with me what she was experiencing instead of running and pushing me away like she used to.
Yes. The power of separation, all the growth work that you do.
And in a sneaky little moment that we had, Angie had given me a tour of her house so that I could decide if I wanted to live there, as Spirit was affirming. It also helped put our joint energies into manifesting keeping the house if we so desired. Angie had an intense experience of meeting our one soul in meditation that left her in awe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, before we get going, we'd just like to say that at the end of this video, we're going to make quote unquote an important announcement.
Yeah.
But we're excited to do it, but we'd like to get in and do our video as we normally would and then save our important announcement for the end. That way at least people know that we've mentioned it here. At least people know that at the end of the video there's something outside of our normal story or video that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready to get going?
I think so.
Did we catch everything that we talked about?
I think so. I hope so.
We had a half a dozen things happening there. None of it was written down, so we just kind of were trying to memorize what would go to next.
There's only one thing that we didn't talk about, and I'm going to just mention it real quick. I was going to actually read some of your comments from our last video because they're awesome, but just because of time, I'm not going to. But I just have to say, we just love your comments. Thank you so much. You guys are just like the best people ever. You're so much like family to us, and we so appreciate you. So thank you.
Yes, there was more. As you were talking there, I'm going, yes, yes. I'm going, oh, yeah. We need to define the word boom.
Oh, yes.
Boom was a code word between us. When you blow something up, it goes boom. And I needed a way of telling Angie whether or not I had blown up my relationship with my karmic. And the way that would be texting the word boom. It would start with a capital B, and it would have a maximum of 4 O's in the word boom. And the more capital O's there was, the bigger the explosion it was.
Yeah, the worse it was.
So if it was like capital B and 4 capital O's and a capital M, what that meant is I probably got chased around the house with a knife or something like that. That would be a big bad explosion. So anyway, when we talk about boom, we're talking about when things would be coming unglued with my karmic relationship.
Since nothing was kind of flowing for Rob's relationship to just end naturally, he was starting to think he was going to have to end it himself in order for us to move on together.
And also, though, I would like to clarify one other thing here. I had no starting date for Angie and I to get together. In my mind, I still wanted to do a very traditional split with the relationship I was in, 6 months out on my own, recovering, taking some separation from my previous relationship time. I was in no hurry to do that, and our video now is starting at January 11th, and at January 11th, I'd only been at my new location of the place that I was working at. I'd changed facilities within the same company, and I'd only been there a week, but I'd already chatted with a couple of the guys there, and they had a spare room in a house that they were renting, and I was all prepared to go live with the guys for a few months until I figured out how life was going to continue on. And that was my mind frame. I wasn't really thinking about Angie and I being together. I was still looking for the time to clear energy and everything else from my previous relationship. So, with all that in mind, keep that in mind as we talk about more of our story and as we're getting closer and closer to massive events. So, it's January 11, 2015, and here I am being impatient, Mr. Patience. I'm saying, really wanting to boom tonight, but I have no real good recovery plan, so I'll guess I'll let it go.
So that's why we had to explain what boom meant, so you'd understand that comment and that
Yeah.
text of his. And I said I had a cool meditation this morning, reminded on a soul level that we four, you, me, and both of our karmics, are a team and we're working together. I saw us like in a football field in a huddle together. So the key is a smooth transition for all has to do with love. Might sound airy-fairy, but it's true. So again, I was being reminded that on a soul level, we are all connected, and even if our karmic partners don't understand this consciously, they have chosen this path as much as we have. And we all need to work together instead of, being angry or hateful about our karmics. It's all about love.
I said someday we will see each other every day, twice a day or more. Love you. And it is not easy to not see you all the time, but hope for the future keeps me going. It is okay for us to feel sad or lonely. I will feel free to do either or both, and I understand the thought that these feelings are real and valid. I just wish it was over.
Yeah, we were yearning for some transitions.
Excuse me while I move around. I got 4 rocks to bounce around on, and each one of them is just a little too small to sit on at the same spot.
I said, until we are together, I do what I'm told and pretend we are together. In other words, I was told to create it. So I said, feeling you with me when I wake up, when I meditate, when I brush my teeth, when I go through my day, driving, going to bed, etc. I feel and see you with me as much as I can, so as to make it so. Great quote that I saw this morning that applies perfectly. Your mind is a garden, and your thoughts are the seeds. You can grow flowers or you can grow weeds.
Aw,
Yeah, do you remember when I texted that to you? I really
yes.
like that. So again, our thoughts create, right? So I was being told and shown how to manifest us together. See it, feel it.
I texted, we are ready for everything. It's just that we have not got ourselves living together, or at least happily in the path to living together yet. We are stuck between two worlds, hoping for divine intervention and not quite willing to do it and accept responsibility for the fallout on a non-divine level.
Yeah, so we were trying to wait for divine timing, but it just
And,
wasn't really happening.
and it was still a bit too scary to do this just all on our own.
Yes. So then this is a couple days later, and I'm starting to feel discouraged. So I said, I've just had enough, and my faith, trust, hope, and belief feel weary and lacking. Um, I feel really out of hope with spirit and keep feeling like we're all on our own in this. There is no divine help or divine timing. It's just human us on our own that has figured this out and how to get ourselves out of our current relationships to be together. My mind feels really weary and discouraged on how to do that. It feels too big, too hard, and too long. I know all of these feelings are due to exhaustion on many levels, but I just can't seem to shake them though, feeling incredibly tired and out of hope. So that just goes to show you that, just because you're on your way to union, it doesn't mean it's all smooth sailing. There is still times of discouragement and frustration and
Wondering when and how,
how.
and even a little bit of if. But
Yes.
I knew that the if would eventually get there, but I was thinking months at
Yeah.
least. Yeah, I'd read her words, and this is all texting. We were barely phoning each other. We were just hiding away in texting.
Yes.
I said, "Oh, my love, we really knew that if our life stubbornly refused to change around us, that there might come a time we would have to take matters into our own hands. The temptation to do so will come and go in strength without permission. The ability to resist saying screw it all and hope of an easy path and let's blow up our worlds and let's get it all over with is harder to do."
I could have bleeped you on that one.
Yes.
In fact, I have to say, one of the comments one of you said from the last video was, "Oh my God, Rob bleeped." I was like, I know! So usually he has to bleep me, but he bleeped himself for once. It was funny. Oh wow, we have sound on a phone. Who knew? Look at that.
There we are. That's a
And
very nice sound.
it was. I said, "I love you, my wise Yoda master." It's nice that we kept our Yoda thing. Now we move to a new pack of text.
Is this done?
That's done.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is done.
I was also saying at my Reiki appointment, I was told that our lesson right now is patience. Your favorite word.
My favorite word.
Patience. Yeah, we know that one. And communication. We both need to speak up and say what we need to say to our karmics. Yes. You're the lip biter and I'm the throat closer. We tolerate. But before we can move on and be together, we need to learn to say no and enough. Joy, oh joy. So we aren't moving on till we both grab. I don't know if I should say that. No, I won't say that.
Grab a new pair or something?
Something like that.
Yeah, okay.
And a voice and stop tolerating.
That's not a bleep. That was very polite. Very descriptive, but very polite.
That's funny.
By the way, just want to bounce back here a little bit. She's the throat closer. She stops speaking when things get really tense.
Yep.
I'm the lip biter. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I don't not even know if I need to brag about this, but when I get choked, everyone in the world can see it because I chomp on my lip. I go like that. I got a white line on my lip from chomping once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's permanent. It's never going away.
So yeah, we were being told we still had work together or work to do, and we weren't going to get together until we did the work that we had to do with our karmics, and that was speaking up because we were both in kind of well, we were both very submissive in our previous relationships, and our lesson was we had to speak up.
Yes.
It was scary to do.
Here I am. I'm coming to some forms of what I call a realization, even though I don't want to believe it. I said, it seems that all levels are hinting that nothing is going to change much without some coaxing from us. That was politely worded, I know. Would prefer not to boom until Sunday night. But what will be, will be.
So
Very interesting. I wonder,
strategizing and planning.
what's the date on that? That seems like that's a little early.
I'd have to get back a few pages.
It's okay. We'll step forward. Next time we see a date, we'll let you know.
Yes.
Oh, I think I'm first.
Yeah, that's you again.
Me?
Well, all you said was good night. I don't know. Do we need to read that? I don't know why I'm like that.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. There it
is. I'm just going to read that whole thing,
okay.
even though it's only half bracketed.
Sure.
Just getting some of that emotional alone time that is recommended by the experts. This is a good thing. Wish I was too. Good night, my love. May the way for togetherness find us. I'm still hoping for something to happen.
Happen naturally.
Yeah, happen naturally. I as much as I can handle conflict, I prefer not to initiate it.
Yeah. And I said, surrender. This is what we must do to move forward. Let go of the how, the when, the where, the why, the what. We have to just be here and be now. That's not a quote. That's just what I'm hearing loud and clear. Okay, I got it. In other words, yeah, I'm getting very aware of what we need to do. It's not easy and I don't want to do it, but I'm understanding why things aren't happening for us.
I commented back, I'm too tired to fight and too scared to surrender, LOL.
Yeah.
But
in my meditation, there was lots of excitement from Spirit, saying that change is coming. It's all falling into place, and we don't need to try. We have lots of help. That things will be easy. Us letting go and surrendering has allowed the flow, they said. Wow! So Spirit is even telling us that you did the right thing. You needed to do that. So I'm like, okay, well, this is hopeful. There's promise. This conquering fear stuff isn't easy. but must be done before we can be together. So bring it on. I'm ready to move forward into the rest of my life with you.
Aw.
In other words, whatever I gotta do, I'll do it. Let's get on with this.
Okay, I still don't see a date on any of this. Oh
there.
yeah, January 26th. There we are. I said, I'm barely okay. Unstable today. Angry. Disillusioned. Ready to boom. Overtired. Irrational. Other than that, I'm functional.
So you can see the getting together was really starting to challenge us. It was really hard.
Here we are. We'd gone another 2 weeks with barely any changes.
Yeah.
I'm just a bit terrified. I'm a micro squeak. I said, whatever that is. Like a squeak is a little bit, and I was a micro bit of it. I'm a micro squeak away from boom. There are many triggers, and I really think that one could blow at any moment.
I feel really calm, at peace, lots of hope, like our time together is very close at hand and that we have so much help, that we aren't alone. I don't even feel like I'm missing you because I feel like we are together and that we will be together very soon. Hopefully my feelings are right. So do you see how interesting it was? There was, a reading that we just did shortly ago where I was really feeling discouraged and he was doing okay, and now we flipped. So there was usually one of us that was stable at a time that could kind of carry the other through.
Okay, now we've moved on to January 29th of 2015. Now I'm the one feeling confident. I said, we are totally okay. Take comfort in the thought that my changes start very soon. I am 100% focused on getting us together. Even just getting evenings freed up so that we can get more than 45 minutes at a time.
Yeah, we had so little time together.
I also commented that feel as you need to. Be comfortable, but remember that I am here for us when things feel tough. Continuing on. I might be a bit tired. I'm sort of grumpy. Are we meeting tonight?
I don't know what video it was that we talked about this, but that's why I had to mark this because it was really, really funny. I said, LOL, okay, now I'm totally laughing. I feel exactly the same, but couldn't tell if it was me or you that I was feeling. That's funny. Yes, tired. Yes, grumpy. And also kind of scattered, too.
I said, I think we are TF grumpy. LOL.
So we were both feeling the same way. Grumpy. TF grumpy. That's funny.
Now at this point, I had a time and a place and a way that I thought that my relationship with my karmic was going to come to an end. I kind of had it mapped out in my mind. I just had to wait for everything to happen the way it normally would, and then interject and talk about stuff. But that's not right now.
Oh, but it's coming. So I said, so hard to explain, but I feel you inside me like we've merged on some weird physical level. It's very, very strange, but really neat too. So, of course, now we're experiencing more merging stuff, which was just kind of cool. All these weird things you go through as twin flames that you just can't explain to the normal person, right? They'd be like, what?
I said, I'm feeling very strong and very happy about our future. I am happy that it is going to become more real very soon. I'm excited about blowing up my life. I am. I was. Are you kidding me? Very foolish, some would say, to be bold and confident like I am. Typing like Yoda would say it.
Apparently we
LOL.
love Yoda.
Love you, is what I said. Flip bottom, Rob. I'm in a very different mindset these past few days. I think that I'm already living our lives in the future, and I have therefore already let go of most of my present. It goes against the mantra of be where your feet are, but it sure is a lot stressful. Sorry, stress less. It was both.
Yeah. And I said, well, to defend you and the already living in our future, which is so amazing, by the way, I don't always buy into the be where your feet are premise because of manifesting. You have to put yourself into the experience of what you want to create. You have to feel it and experience it as if it's happening now. That's what draws it to you, because the universe and your mind don't know the difference between past, present, and future. It just knows that what you think about, you bring about. So it's a fine balance of being where you are and where your feet are, but being in your future to create it as your reality. That's a lot of spiritual jargon to say, you're doing totally awesome. So you're trying not to be where you were, but trying to be where you were, and I'm like, it's all good.
So now we're at January 31st. Oh, wow.
Yeah, you wrote me a book.
I wrote a book.
Just to clarify, by the way, we get new people pretty much with every video. So I just realized if you're new and you're wondering, what are we reading? We're reading our texts to each other that we wrote back then. And Rob's got a whole pile of them he wrote me.
Okay, gonna get comfortable for all this.
Yeah, you might want to.
I said, good morning. These are very exciting but very stressful times for us. It is truly amazing. After all these years and all of our life lessons, experiences, and directions of spiritual growth, we are recognizing us for us and are not letting anything stop us from getting together. I'm humbled/honored by your commitment and cannot find the right words to express my gratitude for accepting me back into your life. It has been hard to do any TF work with all the circumstances around me, but our TF bond has been working for us. I feel like our TF bond is like another aspect of ourselves, negotiating with our environment and creator, allowing us to exist. By us supporting each other, we allow our bond to help and support us too. More next text. So I must have had to stop for a moment.
That was all very well said, by the way. Brilliant.
Continuing on, I said, TF souls can only do so much to be recognized by the living entities. With being offered room to grow, the work they do stays in the background, still relevant but unrecognized and noticed on a conscious level. You and I have chosen to manifest a way to allow this background work and bond to become part of our living experience. We honor and invite this closeness to share itself on our level, somewhat like setting it free to be with us. We have helped our bond to exist with us, and now our bond can do what it can to help us exist. I feel that we must still do the legwork and stay with the lessons we chose before starting our lives. I hope our bond as TFs can invite a deeper, more meaningful experience while we live. We are soon to start our new adventure. My gratefulness comes from the thought that you recognized and nurtured our bond, kept it alive until I was capable of accepting it. I was going to be content to consider us a lost love to the past. I would have probably never got us back together with my own effort. You carefully insisted that I pay attention to your message. I needed years of growth to have the ability to pay attention to your insistence. Timing has been everything, but timing has required faith. Soon another timing arrives. I love you.
That was all just brilliant. Brilliantly said. And I said, I've read your message 3 times now and still cannot take in all your wisdom, sentiments, and depth all at once. Gonna need to read those words several times throughout the day to fully grasp and absorb it all. Let me just say, though, you blow me away. And you still do. Every time. When I was reawoke to the truth of us and was guided on how to bring us back to us, I never fathomed it would be so incredible. I did the work, yes. I believed, yes. But only on some deep soul level. Human me was very skeptical, very doubtful, and afraid to believe, for fear of being disappointed and heartbroken. But still, something deep inside of me called me to keep going, keep believing, and keep reaching for you. I look back and wonder how I did it. And what I see is when I look back is that you were right there with me. When I would doubt or get weary or think it was all BS, your soul would come to me in dreams and meditations and encourage me, helping me to keep believing. You say you would have probably never got us back together, but it was you who carried us and buoyed my faith, even when I was weak. So that's the amazing thing about this journey is you are working together, even if you feel like your twin is off on their own and they're not doing anything and you're doing it all by yourself. On a higher level, you are connected and you're working together. So it's amazing when you can kind of see that, when you can look back and go, wow, when I was discouraged, you helped me. And I was really seeing that, how much he had helped on a soul level. So then I also said, yes, timing is everything. It's that divine timing again. We were guided on what to do and when to be with the flow of the timing. That's what makes it divine. Human timing and spirit timing work together in perfect union. I believe we are now in another such pocket of divine timing, which means we have help in getting us back together. When human timing and spirit timing collide, nothing can stop the forward momentum. We, us together, are guaranteed now, and I couldn't be happier or more excited. I was seeing some hope that it was coming together.
Okay, I was just hoping to grab a quick date. Here we are. Ah, February 1st.
Uh-oh.
And this,
Hard to get rocky.
yeah, this must have been the evening of February 1st.
We come to the Rocky Mountains for a rocky story.
I said home now. Had a beautiful day with my karmic and our friends. She has no idea. She talked about what we would do next month, the summer, and maybe next year. I'm still okay, getting a bit nervous. I understand that waiting is not going to solve or change anything. The time is now. I vote for us tomorrow night. She will never understand. She may never trust anyone again. Tomorrow, I crush her. But I move on to my future with you. I have no other choice. It's mine. The choice is mine, not yours, not hers, all mine. I own it and accept it. I choose us. I choose my TF. Love you. Catch you later.
Oh boy. Change is coming and I feel excited and nervous. Yes, I can totally imagine you feel nervous because I feel nervous. Yikes. I remembered something I read about TFs, that we would be tested to see how much we really wanted and were committed to each other. Part of the tests was the work that I had to do to bring us back to being us. Maybe this is your part. I had so hoped it would be nice and smooth and easy and painless transition. I guess not. Sad sigh. I don't want anyone to hurt. I know each person has their own journey and on a soul level they too have agreed to this, but still, it hurts to hurt others. It is what it is, though. A favorite Dio comment.
Yeah, good old Dio. It is what it is. I really don't like that saying, but I can't deny that it has its time and place. Its time and place, it is what it is.
And like you say, the time is now. I don't know how you know the time is now, but you are right. Wow, amazing that we are at this time and place. I'm just feeling shocked that things are happening the way they are.
Oh, February 3rd? Oh. Technical difficulties are temporary. Please do not adjust your set.
We lost something along the way. Looks like a tab fell out somewhere. Oh, okay. Alright, sorry guys. There we go.
Okay.
We would have missed a huge part that can't
Yeah.
be missed.
Yeah, I was just, we're really having to be careful because the timeline's really tight on this.
Yes.
We can't pause for station identification because we are only one channel. This is now February 2nd. I said, I'm staying in touch with whatever peace I have left this morning. I hope that the path is not strewn with 10-foot cliff bands. I trust that Creator will leave a trail before us that has enough peace to make the journey worthwhile. It won't take much peace, though, as I believe that all of our concerns can be overcome and that our journey is completely worthwhile. You have been on this journey for years now, and in reality, this is one of the final steps instead of one of the first steps. Your biggest challenge was educating me. Now you do not have to journey alone anymore. I do not have to start alone like you did. Hats off to you, girl. Your journey has been tougher than mine. Love you. Catch you later. With a big mwah. Okay, I said.
So this is the evening now, I think, of February 2nd?
Yeah, this is 5:29 in the evening of February 2nd. I'm no more nervous now than a few hours ago. I hope it is just shock protecting me, not some hard, callous edge of my character that I did not realize existed. I'm sure the nerves will kick in just before showtime. It's hard to think about anything else now. Even the comfort of our future is pushed away now. It will soon be all I have left, so know that it is just waiting for its turn to take its rightful and chosen place. But first, tonight has to pass. I will not leave the house unless ordered to do so, and I will not leave without my care pack. Once out, I could be kept out, and even if it's just being told to stay out, I will not force my way in for a reasonable amount of time. Love you. Catch you later.
Oh, so we're on the edge of some challenging stuff. You will do good, as I know how you were with me 17 years ago. Still remember so clearly how kind and gentle you were. In other words, I'm referring to when he broke up with me so sweetly, how he gently fired me at his kitchen table with love and kindness.
By the way, if something starts to run up my leg, it's just a squirrel. If I jump a little bit, it's just a squirrel.
We have a little friend.
Okay, so at 8:11 p.m. on February 2nd, 2015, boom. Capital B, 3 capital O's, a little O, and a capital M. So I got one little O. Other than that, everything was pretty rough.
Ooh, yeah.
That was me sitting down and explaining to my karmic that something had to change, and what was going to change was the relationship that we were in. And that was the start of a very small spiel, and there was shock, disbelief, and then it spread into a little bit of running away to a different room. I'd call it anger, but I think it was just needing space. And if we ever write a book, I'll talk a little bit more about that. But I think that that's all I really want to say about that moment. I would call that the second worst moment of my life. I really, really did not enjoy hurting someone who I had spent 12 years loving. It was rough, and it's rough for me to speak those words. Behind these dark glasses is not tears, but there is misty eyes. It's really hard to relive this again.
It's funny, it actually brings me to tears. You want union, but you don't want to hurt other people. It's not about crushing other people's lives. It's not how we wanted it to go, but
it was just not coming any other way. It was like Creator said, you know, you may have earned your ability to be with your TF, but it's you that's got to take the efforts to do it. I'm not going to do it for you. If you want it, it's there. Take it, but accept the challenges. I wouldn't call it a price. Accept the challenges that it takes to get there. Okay, so boom.
Boom happened. And I said, oh my God, how are you? How is she? Are you leaving the house? So I'm just like shocked, first of all, that this has even really happened.
You know, when someone is telling someone else, yeah, I'll eventually get rid of the life that I have and I'll be with you forever, my love, and then they disappear. Sometimes people wait the rest of their lives for that other person to pull their stuff together. It really is shocking when you do get that
Yeah,
message
it was.
that it's really happened,
Yeah.
that someone is going to be leaving someone else to be with you. And I could see that shock in Angie's communications to me.
I'm shocked. And sad. And obviously it still makes me sad. It's not my biggest desire how to do it.
I said, well, I'm the most awful person on the planet. No warning whatsoever for her, and I knew that. I said that I lied about loving her for years, and looking back, that's harsh. That's not a lie, but I guess I was just being hard on myself. I was punishing myself for being so cruel. She never wants to see me again. House getting sold. No hint of wanting counseling. Didn't talk to her. You know, I'm pretty much guilty as charged. Didn't defend myself much. Didn't want to attack. Just let her keep digging that hole for years and then filled it in tonight. Doesn't feel good. Doesn't feel terrible. I'm numb. Your turn, my still secret love. Angie didn't respond back right away. I commented next that basement my new home, tonight anyways. I'm expecting verbal attacks from my karmic to intensify. Must prepare. Her kids are friends. No one will understand. It's all on me, just as I thought.
And I said, oh my love, this breaks my heart. I so didn't want or think it would be this way. Considering how things went, I'm surprised you're allowed to be in the house. Wow, I know you said you're numb, and I can understand. But how do you feel physically? Are you okay? Do you feel nauseous and sick like I do? Because I was. I was just sick to my stomach with all of this. And I said, this just makes me sick and feels so wrong. Interesting though, I tried to send energy to you and her all evening and I couldn't. I asked why and was told that I wasn't to interfere. That both of you had to go through this as part of your path and soul growth. Really? Really? Does it need to be so darn hard and painful for all of us involved? Really? You're not the bad guy, but now you'll be painted that way with everyone in your circle. That's wrong and not fair.
I said, she's not unkind yet. The anger came out in her a bit, still expecting to be ejected. I didn't give her a chance. Crushed. It's just you and me now in my world. My heart is heavy. Wish I could have you near me. Not puking. Real sad. Boom hurts.
Yeah, it's all right. So hopefully things don't have to end this way for some of you. It unfortunately was our ending. And there is a reason. As we go through our story later, it does make sense, but at the time it didn't at all.
Now, this is a different day.
It's supposed to be the third.
Probably the third or the fourth. I was completely numb by then. It's the only way I could live with myself. I said, I'm waiting for the oh my God, what have I done feeling. That will come over the next few days. Hopefully, very few. Can I see you a bit for tomorrow night? At this point now, I'm thinking, okay, I'm living in the basement, but now I got to start to make plans to get my stuff out. I've got to start to figure out where I'm going to actually live next. I still have that offer to move in with the guys from work. And my karmic and I had talked a little bit, and we'd set a couple of ground rules up. And one of the ground rules was until we officially are apart, that we wouldn't date anyone else. Well, of course, I agreed to that. Yeah, okay, just more reasons to feel bad about myself.
Yeah.
Continue, please.
More lying that we had to then keep doing.
What was this video called? Sex, lies, and GPS. Well, there's kind of the lies
There's
bit.
the lies, there's the boom.
There's the boom,
We still
there's the
got
lie.
the sex and the GPS to come. It's coming. It's kind of confusing. Human me feels distraught over all of this. Having to hurt your karmic, and you hurting, for ending a 12-year relationship. All of it. Human me feels sick over it all, but soul me feels totally calm, knowing all of it is okay, and it's supposed to be this way. That no one is really hurt, and that it's all part of each of our soul growth. It simply needs to be. It's kind of confusing and conflicting between head and soul, though.
Now off to the finish line. Smile a bit. Know I've done this for myself, but that we get to move on together as a needed/cherished benefit. My grieving heart is now free to give the last of what is left of it to you. I thought my heart was destroyed.
Yeah.
As I repair, I promise to do all I can to have an awesome life with you, Angeline. Great person, wonderful love. TF. Whatever the aspect of our relationship.
Aww.
So
It's amazing there could still be love in all of that.
I was totally blown up. Oh, more of me.
More of you.
I said, I miss you. It hurts to be trapped away from you. Your end might still be tricky too. Like she had not broken up completely yet.
Well, we had, but we were still living amicably as roommates together. So I still couldn't tell him about Rob. I still didn't know how I was going to be moving out or if I was. So yeah, my situation was still confusing.
So I said, your end might still be tricky too. It's just not threatening to sell the house. It's breaking those last bonds of hope with your karma.
Yes. We're still trying to figure out, how is this all going to pan out? How are we going to end up together?
More of me?
Yeah, more of you.
Okay, this is still February 3rd. Oh, I said, I'm angry now. Trying to find reasons to hate, I guess. Being too wise to the emotional roller coaster coming up for me is of no value. I must feel. So I guess where I was at there was I was still grieving and still really second guessing what I had done, but I was needing something to keep me away from maybe wanting to unboom.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Still more of me.
Still you. Well, you know, when you're stressed, you communicate lots.
Oh, wow. And any preamble here, or should I just read?
I don't know. I
Okay.
can't remember what it is.
I said, hi, still awake. Soon only 2 sleeps till Saturday.
Oh, yes, right.
Yes, we are both free. Now, I just want to back up here a bit.
Explain that.
I better explain what's going on Saturday. I had planned originally that I was going to go through Boom, and then the next weekend I was going to go up to my parents' place in St. Albert, just outside of Edmonton, to visit them. My mom was starting to get really sick at that point, and my dad wasn't looking the best. So I was going to go visit my parents. I think by then we kind of had an inkling, we were guessing that maybe Angie would come with me that weekend for the 3-hour drive north.
Since we were now both officially out of our relationships, mine had broken up December 31st and his had now broken up February 2nd, we felt it was appropriate that we could actually spend more time together.
Remembering that I had promised that I wouldn't be doing any dating. Yeah, okay, fine. Continue on with the story.
There's the lies. Once again.
Soon to only be 2 sleeps until Saturday. Yes, we are both free. Sunday night will be so hard to let you go when we get home, but both might be full enough, finally, that maybe it won't hurt so bad. Just wait until Monday morning, though. That day will be an eternity, especially if we have no plans to get together Monday. Wow, just planning the future again, am I? Anyways, bedtime, my love. Sleep tight. Maybe see you tomorrow. I love you. Good night.
Now, just to clarify, we're not really recommending that you do your path this way, maybe.
No, this is how we did it. If you have wisdom, use it.
Use our experience too. You know what they say? Experience is the best teacher.
Yeah.
You might want to follow our story and go, yeah, don't do it that way. You'll learn why in future videos. Gets uglier.
I don't quite get where this one came from, but I said, geez, who predicted whose text content? I was thinking, how could you respond to a text that was composed but not sent? I must be sleep typing. Good night.
That's because we were texting at the same time again. He was
Yeah.
saying how amazing it was going to be to like actually spend some time together through a weekend, and I was saying the same thing at the same time.
We were texting back and forth, so my text was actually responding to her text, but she hadn't sent it yet.
Once again, a TF moment in our world.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's what you said in the sidelines here. Okay, we got a flip.
You again. You're just so popular.
And Chatty Rob here.
Yeah. I apparently said nothing anymore.
Outside work now, nobody here. Our freaky same texts, or same time texts, etc., might become more normal and less freaky.
No, they're not less freaky. They're still weird.
They still always happen.
But still awesome. Like our driving at the same time one that we shared in a couple of videos ago.
Yeah.
They still amaze me.
I might as well be doing the flipping of the pages, but I'm glad she knows where she tabbed to next. I nearly teared up in happiness imagining us snuggling tomorrow. Just being with you for hours is a dream come true. Very happy. This must have been Friday before the Saturday of going up to St. Albert, Edmonton area.
Yes. Now, just to clarify, up until this point, the most time we had spent together was 4 hours. So we, had hardly spent a lot of time together, and we were yearning to have hours to just talk and connect. So, I mean, Saturday was like, oh, can it get here fast enough? And I said, it's so weird. All of a sudden, I'm having flashes of the night before we met 17 years ago, after we talked on the phone, and I was so excited to meet you the next day that I was literally jumping up and down on my bed. I did that. I feel the same excitement all these years later. Very neat feeling. Oh my God, I love us. Just getting waves of wowness rolling through me. How am I going to sleep tonight? Actually, the tougher question is, how am I ever going to sleep without you after tomorrow night?
There's a question. There's a head scratcher.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have to do some explaining, because of course we were together for a while. So we met Saturday, we drove out to Edmonton area. Now, just to clarify, he was going Sunday to meet with his parents, and I didn't go, of course, because this was all too fresh. He hadn't even told them that him and his karmic broke up. He certainly wasn't going to share with them, hey, you remember Angie from like 17 years ago? She's back in my life. No, we weren't going to do any of that. So I spent the day at West Edmonton Mall, big mall that's in Edmonton, and he went to see his parents. But the morning, Saturday night, of course, we spent the night together in a hotel. We won't say too much about that. But
la.
That's where the sex part of the title comes in. That's all we're going to say. Then Saturday morning, Sunday morning, yes, sorry, in the hotel room, I'm brushing my teeth. I got my little travel toothbrush. Okay, I just thought I'd bring it to demo if I could get it in the right spot. So I'm brushing my teeth, and he's looking at me with the weirdest look on his face. And I'm like, what? Like, do I have spit all over my face? Are you freaking out now? Like, this is too real and you're in shock? What's going on? And I'm saying to him, what?
So I start rummaging around through my travel stuff, and I come out with my travel toothbrush. It's the same brand, same color.
It's identical.
It's identical. They're the same darn travel toothbrush. Now, I normally take a real toothbrush with me. I only usually take this camping. We weren't camping. For whatever reason, I was drawn to pull this out of my stuff because maybe because I felt like I was camping in the basement where I was living. But for whatever reason, For the first time almost ever when in a hotel, I took this with me and it showed up beside hers. Same color, same brand, same everything.
And this is why he's got the freaked out look on his face.
Okay, if I had any doubt about TFism before then, that was just another time where I said, okay, I surrender. I'm going to join this path deeper and committed to it, step forward with it, and see where it goes with encouragement instead of always cross-checking and looking for more proof and maybe wondering whether I'm questioning things. That took me over the edge. From that moment on, not only was I just a TF with Angie, at this point I literally started to affirm my TFism with Creator.
Who knew a toothbrush would do it?
A toothbrush.
And we still can't figure out how long we've had these toothbrushes, why we have the same one. We have no idea where they even ever came from in our lives.
I think that mine came into my life sometime during my first marriage, like before my karmic.
Oh.
Or before karmic, that one, yeah. It had been with me for already 15 years.
So our first night together in many, many, many years, and we get the most amazing validation the next morning of, okay, this is real. So now I'm at the mall, he's coming to pick me up, and he sends me a text, and because I'm in this loud mall, I didn't even hear his text. But I sent him a text and said, oh my God, I'm in the loud mall, so I didn't even hear your text, but grabbed my phone to see if you had texted me just when your text came in. I so love us. So again, another TF moment. It was just happening over and over again. Like we were just starting to really get this like connection. And now that we had been physically intimate for the first time in, God, I don't know how many years it was, at least 15, if not longer.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think it was, well, no, probably 15, at least. And all of a sudden, this like connection energy was just everywhere.
It was just hitting us from all angles.
Yes. So then Sunday night, he picks me up, we drive home, and we're trying now to figure out how we're going to live without each other. Because now that we've reconnected on a physical level,
now we've rebonded. Yeah, the physical level was very much there, but the emotional and spiritual level that came back with it flooded back our direction like the initial days that we had first met. It was re-magical all over again.
Yes.
Sort of like deja vu all over again, except our style.
So we were sitting in a parking lot near where I lived because, of course, here's some more lies. I had lied to my karmic partner as to why I was going to Edmonton and who I was going with. I lied and said I was going with a friend. Even though him and I were broken up, I didn't feel safe enough telling him the truth. So I lied. And so now, of course, I can't have Rob drop me off right in my driveway because that's going to spur a whole lot more questions. So we're sitting in a parking lot just a block away from my place, and we're sitting there bawling in the vehicle with each other, not knowing how we're going to live apart now. Because now that we've reconnected on all levels.
For hours, like a day and a half.
Yeah. So we're bawling together, and finally we let go of each other. I walk home, and this is what happens when I walk in the door. My karmic's there greeting me at the door. And he's questioning me and going, so why did you walk home? Why didn't your friend drop you off? So you know how it is when you lie? You have to then tell another lie to build on that lie. And it just spurns more and more lies. And oh my God, lying, let me tell you, not the best way to go.
No.
So, of course, one lie led to another lie, led to another lie, and the more I lied, the more he questioned, and the more he questioned, I finally was just like, okay, here's the truth. I couldn't handle the lies anymore, because the lies were killing me. I mean, they were eating me up inside, but I didn't know how to tell the truth, because I didn't know how to not hurt him, and how to keep myself safe, honestly. So anyway, he asks me, and we'll kind of get into that in the text here. So I sent Rob a text and I said, I can't stop shaking. Regan just confronted me and I told him the truth.
Oh.
So then you text back.
Okay, hang on. You ready?
Oh, do I get to brief you?
You do. I said, holy shit.
Holy bleep!
Oh my God, are you okay? And then I get to continue on.
Yeah, sure, you can read that.
I said, did he just have suspicions? Did the pickup slash drop off arrangement tweak him? Did he GPS your phone? Shit, girl.
So,
Bleep!
bleep!
Bleep! You missed your cue!
I'm not a good bleeper.
I ask again, are you doing okay?
You're the
Oh,
bleeper.
we got to put our screen back up.
Uh-oh. Wow. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
That was a new screen. We're
She's not
almost
used to
done.
bleeping me.
Hang in there. I said, unbelievable. He was upstairs when I walked in the cul-de-sac, so he saw me. And I had a reason for walking home when he asked. But he said, were you really with your friend Marie or with a man? So I said, it wasn't Marie. He asked if he knew the man, and I said no. Oh, another lie.
Here we go.
Oh, but then he questioned me more, and it just became easier to tell him it's you. So I told the truth, finally. And told him that you and your comic split up, and that we are TFs, one soul and two bodies, and that we've connected with the same bond from 17 years ago. He was upset, but not angry. Just said to hurry up and buy him out of the house, so we could hurry up and move on with our lives separately. Perfect, I thought. He's upset that I lied, and I asked him if he really would have been okay with the truth. He admitted that he was hoping we'd reconcile, and I reminded him that he was the one that said we could see other people. So he was, saying one thing to me, but then also having his own intentions of wanting to reconcile.
So, yeah, it's... sometimes a person opens up the doors for someone else to take latitude even though they don't mean it.
Yeah. So that's what you text me.
So I texted back to Angie. Boom.
And I was like, I can't believe I didn't text you that. Like, that would have been perfect. How come I didn't text boom? So
I would have understood.
Yeah, you would have. So I said, well, one way or another, we're closer together. Crazy, 2 booms in 1 week. Then I said, oh my bleeping God. In other words, I'm just blown away of what's just happened in our lives. My heart is totally pounding.
I said, I feel bad for you. Sometimes the most effective plans do not follow a very nice path. Brutally effective, but yes, this is the final straw in getting you two apart. I feel relief at your boom, but still pain still existed. Having just done this, I feel bad for your feelings. Big hug, my girl.
Yeah, so I'm terrified. I said, only feeling is fear and shock. I'm shaking so badly. I have literally keep reminding myself to breathe. Oh my God, this is crazy. But kind of awesome too. Holy bleep.
And getting her trained, she's bleeping herself.
This is where the bleeps come out, because there was some big shock going on. So I said, please, if you can, do me a favor and send calming energy to Regan. I feel kind of scared for morning. I'm shaking lots now, and it's starting to sink in of what's just happened. Having trouble texting even. Just help if you can by talking to a soul like I am, reminding him that he agreed to this, and that it's time to let go. Maybe strange or weird for you to do, but if you can, it would totally be helpful. So I'm like, help me, dude. Like, manifest as much as you can. I need all the energy I can get.
I said, yes, I will send energy. We'll stop texting for a few minutes to do so. Yes. Oh my God, oh my God.
Well, we just sat together and cried, wishing and hoping for the rest of our path to togetherness would appear. I think it is. Thank you. I will continue to send energy at the same time as you. Can't hurt. Well, this wasn't my solution for not missing you tonight, but okay. It is what it is, and it's certainly taken the attention away from my sadness. Oh my God. This goes down in the history of Oh my God cubed, lol. Just finished sending... Oh, no, sorry, that's you.
That's me.
I'm reading your parts now.
Okay. Just finished sending energy. When I go to sleep, I will let my soul decide if it will participate in traveling with Regan's soul on that level.
Thank you. I will continue to do the same on my end. He needs a bit of a push to accept that things are over and it's time to move on, but I don't want to break his heart and his spirit either. Oh my God, this is just crazy. I knew the next steps with him and I would show itself, but not like this.
Yeah.
It's funny, I actually texted that at 11:11 p.m. Oh yeah, and then I said, hey, it's 11:11. Gives me peace, like a sign that all is okay. Breathe, I gotta breathe. I was in huge panic. I mean, I was shaking so much.
Mm-hmm. And I said, yay to 11:11 and purple toothbrushes.
I said, this better be the end of the hard stuff with our path to togetherness, because I don't think I can take much more. Feeling pretty worn out from all of this. Your boom, my boom, lies, etc. Yeah, because the lies, they were wearing us down. We're not the kind of people that like to go through life lying.
Oh, more of my stuff. Let's focus on truth. The truth is we want to be together and we deserve to be together. So we get to be together. Lies may be bringing us these hard paths. The truth is I love you and we'll look after you and us when we get together. Truth attracts good. Lies attract difficulties. I told the truth when I told my karmic I was falling out of love. You told the truth when confronted by Regan. Both are painful, but productive in our quest to get together.
I can't seem to stop my heart from pounding. Finally stopped shaking. I've wrapped my body all tight to stop. I literally did. I wrapped myself in like a ball because I was just shaking from fear. But my heart continues to pound. Yes to truth comments. Yes, we did. We faced our fears. Okay, breathe I must. Thank you for your support, my love. I will be okay, he will be okay, and we are okay. Sleep, my love. I love you greatly. Good night.
And I said, oh, I really said this, didn't I?
Yeah.
I texted, good night, my shaky, heart-pounding, adorable wife. Love. Text as you need. TF snuggle.
Aww.
Hug. Rob.
Because, of course, after spending the night together, we felt married again. We felt our bond was that deep again. So you are now calling me your wife.
Did you want to very briefly explain the GPS portion?
Yes, I was going to go there.
Yeah.
So what had happened is my karmic and I used to share the same iTunes account on our phones, which meant we shared the same contacts, and our phones were linked enough that we could see where the other person was. And I completely did not know that. So with all the lies that I was telling, with all the amounts of time I was out of the house, I'm a homebody. I'm an introvert. I don't go out of the house much. He was starting to have suspicions, like, what's going on with her? So he started following me through my phone. And when he knew that I was where I wasn't supposed to be or where I said I wasn't going to be, that's when he started getting really suspicious. And that's why he made sure he was watching me walk up the cul-de-sac that night so he could ask me a bunch of questions and finally confront me. Fair enough, I deserved it. I had done a lot of lying and it was time to tell the truth. So that's where the GPS comes into this whole thing. Sex, lies, and GPS. Yep.
And the booms.
And the booms. Those two booms, and it was kind of ugly.
So at this point, she was now in a very tense, living in the same place relationship with her karmic. I was living in the basement and leaving my place before my karmic was getting up, and I was getting home sometimes well after she had packed it in for the night, so I was not even crossing paths with my karmic in the same house.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out exactly where I was going to be living next because I was still thinking that there was going to be 6 months or whatever it would take for me to live someplace else while I cooled down and got my head level so that we could possibly have our chance together. What was another thing? Oh yeah, tuck away in the back of your minds about how on their telephone plan contacts were shared. That'll come up to be important next.
It will.
So that is the end of this particular story video. I would like to walk the direction of our important announcement.
Yes, we'll just say it, and it's going to have its own video, but we want to make sure you're aware of it.
This is what I'd call a pre-announcement. This would be like something you would rehearse, and then you'd actually do the real thing and then tell everybody. But we'll call this, well, you know what, the Calgary Stampede, the event that we have up here, it's a giant rodeo that we have up here in Calgary. The day before, they have what's called Sneak a Peek.
Yes.
So this will be our Sneak a Peek. Some of you might have been aware that there was a couple of TF conferences, one in Chicago and the other one in Boston. We're gathering together some of the facilitators that were there, and we are going to host a TF conference in Banff, right in our own backyard, basically.
Banff, Alberta, Canada, because if you're going to come to the mountains, you might as well see the beauty of the mountains.
Might as well not see it from the big city 45 minutes away. Might as well be buried right in them.
That's right.
And the dates?
Our goodness, October 5th, 6th, and 7th.
There's a long weekend in there.
Yes, it's a long weekend, actually, both in the U.S. and in Canada, for those of you that are in either of those countries. And so it's 5th, 6th, and 7th will be the workshop. And then on the 8th, which is a Monday, that's the holiday Monday, we are actually going to offer also a tour of the Rockies. So anybody that wants to stay an extra day, we will take you for a tour of a bunch of different places. Lake Louise, Emerald Lake. This will all have, at the end of the video, we're going to have some picture information, and we'll also put it at the bottom so you can read it all. But we just wanted to give you some little details as well.
Okay, so with all that, our next bit is to walk 3 hours back to our vehicle and then drive another hour and 15 minutes to Banff and put together our announcement video and get that launched right away.
Yes.
So there's by the time that this comes out, the announcement video should be able to come out, and I'm not sure which one's going to be first, but both of them needed to have the announcement in it.
Yeah, we just wanted you to know the scoop, so you got time to look at calendars and save dates if it's something you are interested in and want to do. We would love to see you guys in person. Oh my God, to meet you and connect with family. Nothing better than that. And experiencing a workshop, we couldn't tell you. We'll save that for our next little video to tell you the details of how amazing they were for us.
Yes, after we had got together, yes, those events had happened, those conferences. One of them just changed me just about as much as purple toothbrushes.
Yeah. But we'll save that for later because we know this is getting a little long. So we're going to say goodbye. We love you guys. We so honor you. And as always, remember to connect with your twin, go within, and we'll be back in hopefully another week.
So from beautiful Bristol Pass still in Alberta, but not far away from British Columbia.
Bye.